أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Islamic rahmatullah wa barakatuh. This is Brother Muhammad Ali Beliil Abdul Al-Adal, resurrected. And I consider myself the main disciple of the rightful and true long-range successor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in this new era time now. And that's the late, great Chief Supreme National Grand Sheikh, Timothy Dingle Il Noble Drew Al-I, alayhi wasallam. Okay? I want to read the Al-Fatiha. I think I told you brothers before that, since when I found out that, the cipher, that's what the Supreme Laws is all about. It's about a cipher being discovered, right? It's a moment of discovery in the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's IJTI'HAAD in the Moorish Science Temple of America. The gates of consciousness is opening. But, I'll talk about that later on. But it is a period of IJTI'HAAD in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and it has been really since 1974, since June 12, 1974. That's when he secured the copyright certificate, from the Copyright Registration Office on the works of Noble Drew Ali. And all this is under the auspices of Article 1, Section 8, Paragraph 8, concerning the works of authors and scientists and inventors and everything. It is a period of discovery, you understand, in the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's a period of intellectual implosion and development in the Moorish Science Temple of America. And a lot of the misguiders, who have misguided their following, they don't understand this. The misguiders are not allowed to see it. See, that's why they don't know it. See, powerful stuff going on. This is real. But I want to read the Al-Fatiha, right? Yeah, something like I wanted to say. I'm young in Islam. The Deen, Sirat al-Mustaqim. Okay, I know a lot of things you guys might say. You Muslims and brothers that know the Deen probably know. It's a lot of things. I'm a bit informal because there's some recitations you say, besides A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, there are other recitations you say to guard your thoughts and everything when you begin to talk about Al-Islam, okay? And I suggest that I suggest you go to school for Arabic. Because every time I embark upon the quest of learning at a masjid, then someone down the road or down the line tell me that's not right. You don't say it that way. No, that's not right, So I suggest, I recommend that you go to school for it, in the story. But it's something in Islam, brothers, a lot of Arabic instructors and teachers, especially Muslim Arabic instructors and teachers, they would get on you about something called tajweed, the proper enunciation and the way you fix your tongue and your mouth to pronounce the words, especially the words of prayers in Islam. They're very, very particular about that. Some of them are real sticklers about that, And like Mufti Mink say, the only weed that's permissible in Islam is tajweed. When he got asked a question, was smoking weed allowed, in Islam? So that's when Mufti Mink, it's a Saudi brother, very popular Saudi imam that's online. And I think he was raised here in the United States because based on his diction and everything, he has a true command of the American English, okay? But I want to read the Al-Fatiha, right? Uzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I'm going to attempt, my best to recite Al-Fatiha in proper tajweed and proper or most popular chanting style, okay, as Hafiz does. A Hafiz is one they're wonderful. They memorize the entire Quran and they can recite the entire Quran. in prose and style and beauty and that sort of thing. Uh, well, that's another story that I'd like to talk about. Get our organization, our temple, our movement uh, online properly with Al Islam. With the madrasas and the universities and everything. Okay, because Orthodox Islam is in the movement. You understand me? We'll talk about that later on. But let me read the Al Fatiha. I love the Al Fatiha. Yeah. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Yes, that's Al-Fatiha. One of the most recited, it is not one of the most, it is the most recited surah in the Holy Quran, the entire Muslim world. But I want to talk about the importance of the Moorish American Muslims' position in Islam. From the standpoint of the resurrection, more science temple America, from the standpoint of the movement being on a new level since 1978. You have a lot of us in the organization. A lot of people believe it. You have people who believe Timothy Dingle, Noble True Allah Islam is the man, beginning in 1978. But it's ego, right? It's also maybe selfishness, right? It's also materialism, people don't want to let go of the things they have and everything. They're holding on to chairs of power and everything. But they don't realize that God is in charge. Everything belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what's going on in the Middle East right now. Allah, Islam belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He gives the guidance, to whom He pleases. You have a certain group of rebels over there ain't doing right. In being with the Kafirs. In being with the enemies of Allah, the worshippers, and the world's environment, so forth and everything. But, in our dispensation, since 1978, the Moorish Science Temple of America is on a new level. It's on a new level. A lot of things are being clarified, right? A lot of things are being cleared up. You understand me? And according to law, a lot of things will be cleared out. A lot of things that includes ideas and also people. People, ideas, and things are going to be cleared out. It's in the law. So, it's in the instructions. When Timothy Dingle alayhi salam, when Allah Ta'ala chosen him to discover that cipher, He tells you it's a code. His old master put it in code. It's a code. But it's like Pandora's box. You open Pandora's box and, all HELL break loose. But in this case, all HEAVEN broke loose. All heaven broke loose, okay? What I mean by heaven, I mean the gates of conscience was open. This is a time of intellection. You understand? In the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? It's a period of IJTI'HAAD. When he discovered that code and everything, it was a period of discovery. It was a breakthrough. Get into from a sociology standpoint, the terms discovery, the terms breakthrough, Okay, and another in the Islamic term, IJTI'HAAD, right? IJTI, right? HAAD, IJTI'HAAD. It has a form of jihad up in there. You understand? It's a form of struggle up in there, but it's an intellectual progression. It's an intellectual push. I call it's an intellectual implosion as well as explosion. A time and period where everybody is learning when things are being discovered. And this process is what the discovery of the 50 years prophecy, the discovery of the code that led to unlocking and releasing the 50 supreme laws. Right, so wonderful process, so wonderful thing occurring, right, and that's why I got the one of my little trusty booklets down here, prophethood in Islam. Can't emphasize enough this little pamphlet, right? Prophethood in Islam. Prophethood in Islam. This little pamphlet right here, open your eyes up. It talks about the criteria. Let me just, for the sake of understanding, okay, let me just read let me just read the first paragraph, and I'm going to jump down to number 2, right? They got a sublet, number 2 down here. It says, prophethood in Islam. The concept of prophethood is found in the 3 great monotheistic religions of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. In Islam, however, it has a special status and significance. According to Islam, Allah created man to worship him and to lead a virtuous life based on his teachings and guidance. But how can man know and fulfill his role and the purpose of his existence if he does not receive clear and practical instructions of what Allah wants him to do? It's a question. The existence of prophethood, by which Allah sent a prophet to every nation to reveal his message in terms that the people could understand. Like Noble Drew, he spoke English, and he wrote to us into English. He had to communicate with us in English, but he left his literature specially designed, specially designed. And when you understand the special designation or the special design of the more science literature, right, you will see that it has a surface structure and a deep structure. You understand me? And understanding these 2 structures of the Moorish American literature, right? It runs smack dead into the 3rd and 4th generation prophecies. The 3rd and 4th generation prophecies. About the 3rd and 4th generation goes like this: children. This generation is going to come. You talk about the 1st and 2nd generation. You say this generation, which is the 1st and 2nd generation, this generation will comprehend but little of the work that I brought to you, Moors. But it's going to be incumbent upon the 3rd and 4th generation who will truly understand, who will truly know the message that I brought to you, Moors. See, 3rd and 4th generation, these were more educated brothers and sisters, you understand? More educated, more critical, they have critical analysis skills, they have better investigatory skills, and they would see some things in this literature that causes us to be on another level, which I've seen, years ago. And that's why, alhamdulillah, subhanallah, I'm good with this thing. I understand. I know what it is. I know what's happening. Okay, let me get back to this. I left off at. Let me go to go back to the previous paragraph. But how can man know and fulfill his role and the purpose of his existence if he does not receive clear and practical instructions of what Allah wants him to do. Check it out. What Allah wants him to do. Okay. The existence of prophethood, by which Allah sent the prophet to every nation to reveal his message in terms that the people could understand, has answered this question most effectively. Okay. One might ask, how were the prophets chosen and which individuals were so honored? Okay, prophethood is Allah's blessing and the favor that is bestowed on an individual chosen by him to convey his message. From studying the lives of the prophets that have appeared, we notice several characteristics. Okay, here's where those numbers come in. Number one, he is the best person in his community. Right? Let me stop right there. He is the best person in his community. Okay. Let me continue. He's the best person in his community as regards morality and intellectual ability. This is necessary for a prophet's life, serves as a model for his followers. His personality should not drive people away from his message, but rather inspire them to accept it and to transform their own lives. After receiving the message, he is infallible on all matters dealing with the revelation. Although he might commit some small mistakes, but not in any matter that concerns the revelation, he cannot commit a sin. Okay. Number two, he is supported by miracles, which derive from the power and permission of Allah and not of the prophet himself. To prove that he is not an impostor, such miracles are direct challenges to the powers that be, for they do not follow the rules laid down by the experts in the affected field or activity. By way of illustration, let us review some of the miracles recorded in the Old Testament. Okay, I had to go that far, but I'm telling you, a lot of Sunni brothers, a lot of other Muslims who don't believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has returned our prophethood to us. The Moabites are quote unquote back into the congregation with the advent of Prophet Noble Ali alayhi salam. Our nation is the long line of prophets is once again ignited, turned on. We're blessed to receive prophets again. It's wonderful. This is what's a wonderful process. It's a wonderful thing going on. We are blessed. The Bible said we got put out the congregation because we was a mean and nasty people and everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cut our prophets off. And we were bad folks. We cut the Israelite prophets off too, because they were bad folks. But what they did to Jesus Christ, Islam, they don't want to accept that. But hey, that's another powerful story. But I'm saying we need to understand that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with a line of prophets again. He has permitted us to have prophets. We get it together. Stop playing around, stop being so hard-headed and disobedient and disrespectful and egoistic, right, and selfish, right, and clean up and get our madrasas and everything off the ground, get our schools and stuff built and established. Start a band of prophets and everything. Watch, we start having prophets, man. We probably have, later on down the line when these things get established, when these things get straightened out, we're going to have some prophets, man, that's going to be on the level of Noble Ali, alayhi. Okay? Because we have a prophetic office. Iran called it a supreme leader. But we have a prophetic office holder. Noble Ali is a title of the supreme leader of the Moorish Temple of America. That's why you can't use it. It's under copyright. It's a title. It's the title of the supreme leader of the Moorish Temple of America, of the Moorish Islamic National Reclamationist Liberation Movement of America and the world, i.e. the Moorish Divine National Movement. The old time term. Moorish National Divine, the Moorish Divine and National Movement. The name of our religion is not divine. We got to clarify things since 1970. The Moorish Divine and National Movement, the Moorish Islamic National Movement. This is an Islamic nation. This is not a mere divine nation. The name of our religion is not divine. Okay, I mean, you can still use that interchangeably, but I'd rather be precise. The truth is precise, as a matter of fact. This is the Moorish Islamic National Movement. You understand me? We're the main ones. For real, for real. Okay, we need to understand that. This is powerful demonstration. This is a blessing. It's a blessing. You need to recognize it. Well, that's why I'm so passionate about it. I see it. And I'm trying to get you all to see. I tried to get the brothers and sisters at 1055 to see it, but they treat me real bad up there. That thing about a prophet, is not honored in his own time. I'm not saying a prophet, but I'm saying I had a message to bring to them brothers and sisters. You understand me? I was in on the level of an angel in terms of what I had to say to these people concerning, the new level of the movement. Right? And they treated me so bad up in there. I ain't real upset with them about it because they ain't in trouble. They ain't in trouble with me. You ain't in trouble with me. I'm tell you something, man, about me, right? Glory to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he chosen me for some things, man. And you mess with me if you want to, you're gonna get burnt. If I tell him to burn you, he's gonna burn you. Alhamdulillah. The prophet Noah, alayhi salam, Noah's Ark, he used to tell Allah to punish people, and Allah punished them. When they start disrespecting Noah with the children, those unbelievers start, because the children loved Noah, but the parents turned the children against Noah, and that hurt Noah so bad. It hurt Prophet Nuh, alayhi salam, hurt him so bad. He said, "Bring it." Well, you get into it. He told when they hurt him with those children, it's nothing more painful, right, than be disrespected by a child that you love. Tell me I'm lying up here. Huh? And when they start disrespecting Noah with the children, Noah said, "Well, look, bring it." He said, "Okay. When you open that oven, one day when you open that oven, that's when that's the sign. Water coming out the oven." What's supposed to be in the oven? Fire, right? Water coming out the oven. So he said, that's it. Time to get up in the ark. This is real. And we got to stop playing. You understand? We got to stop playing. There's so many powerful things we're supposed to be doing. And I'm going to tell you something about Dr. Mustafa Ansari. Wonderful. That brother's something else. You should get into his business, get into his life. That's old Baltimore term for, investigating somebody. I'm getting his business. That means I'm going to check him out. You understand? I'm getting, find out what's going on with him. Go on LinkedIn and check out Dr. Mustafa Ansari. The man's a genius. You know what I mean? He's a genius. Look how he's so accomplished. And, he's right on track. But let me tell you something, right? Them brothers, right, they can get us they can go to the door, but they don't have the key. That's why I support him so much, because I know what he's doing. See? But I know he doesn't have the key. See? The key was given to us, see? And when I'm talking about the key, is intricately connected with Revelation chapter 3. Okay? This thing is deep. This thing is serious. That's why I support that brother. I see what he's doing. He can get us through the door, but he can get the nation to the door. But there's a certain group within the nation that has the key that can open that door. There's a certain door we have to go through. You understand? And this door leads to what? The family of the Asiatic nations. The key of civilization is in the hands, right, of the Asiatic nations. We got 101 keys, right? We're the only nation to have a flag that's represented in the UN. The other groups, I mean, God bless them, they're doing honorable work, you understand me? They are brothers and sisters, right? But where their flags come from? This is real. You have to have a knowledge in known things. You can't go out in space with it. I like to know where our flag is. I believe some eccentric collector or something got that flag, with the Moorish, the cherry tree, with the chop marks all on the flag post and everything. It's priceless. It's priceless. It is a part of one of the most one of the most sacred periods of American history is the chopping down of the Moroccan provisional government flag up there in Philadelphia. Whoever has that flag is priceless. I mean, especially if it got the flagpole and the chop box on it and everything. The original flag that was chopped down, in the 1700s up there. It's priceless. You understand? It's priceless. But there's so much I like to talk about. I'm monitoring the data on my phone, okay? I try to keep some data on the phone. You never know, because, these phones are defensive weapons these days. That's another powerful story that when you talk about other people who are about developing this new art form, right, of using these smart devices as tools or weapons in electronic warfare. Okay, the Hezbollah bad with it. Hezbollah bad with electronic warfare. You understand me? They're trying to keep a hush-hush about it, right? But Hezbollah, they can rumble. Okay, the Lebanese and the Palestinians can rumble, right? Modern warfare, these electronics, these devices, the information/digital age. Noble Drew Ali is an information age prophet. He's the first prophet to be what? Photographed, right? He's the first prophet whose ministry centers around the central core dynamic application is literature, right? Information, scientific information. The basis of more science is science. It's psychiatry. Read What Shall We Call Him? It was an act of what? They call us names that allude to everything of doom and gloom, and they say white means purity, everything is nice and everything. It was an act of what? What the prophet said was an act of what? European psychology. Then the man turned around and tell you in the voice of the prophet, he come to redeem this nation from what? Mental slavery, which we have now. See, what reflects business is a reflection. I mean, you got to reflect on what you're learning. It mentions one part of the book. He talks about what? European psychology. Man put us in the trick bag, took our logic away from us. Our ancestors. Prophet come to give you. That's what prophets do. They come to return things to you. Give you your name back. Give your birthrights back. Give you your mind back. Right. Give you your flag and everything back. Right? Prophet is a top-notch psychiatrist, man. Just like Jesus Christ was a medical doctor and attorney, Noble Drew Ali is a medical doctor and attorney. You understand me? With a heavy concentration in psychiatry. Noble Drew Ali alayhi salam is Jesus Christ in this new era time now. And it's on. I don't like to give people stuff on a silver platter. And I'm not going to give it to you on the silver platter, but I'm going to drop some hint about it. The divine constitution bylaws. The prophet, calling himself Jesus Christ. You know how to read that divine constitution bylaws. You looking at Jesus Christ. He tell you he's Jesus Christ. See, that's how far as I'm going to go with it. You know what I mean? But, if Allah Ta'ala want me to tell you to come to, that's why it didn't come out. Oh yeah, this is real. Okay? I know how to read the map. Okay. I'm an MAP. I don't mean to brag all that kind of stuff, but I'm an MAP, man. Boy, I'm a Moorish American pilot. I'm a Moorish American professor, Moorish American pedagogue. You understand me? I understand the Moorish American platform, the Moorish American program. You understand me? The Moorish American pedagogy. I understand that thoroughly. Alhamdulillah. See, and you can too. Just humble your mind. Humble your mind and your heart. You understand me? And open it up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. Then, you understand me, it'll open up to man. And you too can learn, as much as or as anybody else. This thing is real, this thing is deep. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice must be proclaimed and practiced, right? You gotta proclaim it towards your own soul first. Because a lot of us wrong our own soul. And we have to heal our own soul by being good to ourselves, by allowing ourselves to be good and to do good for ourselves and for others. That's how we heal our soul. Okay? And you have to read Islam in conjunction with the Prophet's works. You understand me? If you're going to advance beyond that fundamentalism, that obstreperous fundamentalism, what I call it. People stuck on the formalities, stuck on the more science and everything, the more literature and everything. Stuck on formalities. Can't get past Noble Ali, alayhi salam. And Noble Ali is Jesus Christ. He's Muhammad. Alayhi salam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He's the Muhammad of the movement. Well, no, Timothy Dingle is the Muhammad of the movement. Alayhi salam, all praise due to Allah. Get into it. That's what them symbols and stuff on the back of the book. I'm going to talk about too extensively. You understand me? Inshallah. All right? That's what I want to tell you. I got to watch the data on my phone, okay? I got to keep some data. Always keep some data on your phone. And learn how to record the violators of you, people who violate your principles and everything. You understand me? You don't have to necessarily have them on film, but that's alhamdulillah if you do. But you can record them, the audio recording, is just as good. It's pretty good, but a video recorder is what's up. But the audio recording, it's kind of good too. But learn how to do these things, on a slide, to put that weapon on an enemy, on a violator. Okay, brothers and sisters, have a good evening. Pray to Allah Ta'ala that you be protected by day and by night. Yes, through the holy prophets that He has sent to this world by His grace.